Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Evan Marchand YouTube channel. You'll probably notice I sound super sick. It's cause I am, but that's not gonna stop me from bringing you a banger video. So, you're probably also noticing that this is not usually where I film videos or start videos anyway, and that's because I haven't started a video here since about like a year ago, in a video where I was making Fruitiger Arrow themed Pokemon. This is exactly where I started that video, and obviously a lot's changed since then, but the last couple videos I made have just had me sitting at my desk talking about something, so I was like, you know what, let's spice it up for this one. And also recently I've been seeing a lot of cool room decor ideas on Instagram that are based off of like video games and like kind of niche stuff, like from certain movies or stuff that I grew up with, or like the DVD logo on a belt. And I know that's not room decor, but like that's been one that I've seen a lot and I want to buy it, but then I go to actually buy it and it's online and it's like a ton of money for shipping and all that, and then I look up these websites to see, yo, like, is this a real website and not a scam? And usually Google's like, nah. Oh, you want a DVD carpet? You want a Wii disc carpet? Yeah, too bad that pretty much all the websites selling those are scam websites. I'm like, dude, like, I just want a new Super Mario Bros. Wii carpet, bro, like Wii disc carpet. Obviously, I don't have the facilities or the equipment, or honestly just the knowledge on how to make a carpet, but I am an art student, and being an art student, I'm able to make stuff for my room and decorate my room with things that I myself have made. And that's what I plan to do today. I would use my art school person abilities to make my own room decor things, and I was like, you know what, let's do one for each day of the week, because I'm not in school right now, I have all this time on my hands. Let's do one for each day of the week for a week. So today is, and I thought that to start off this video, I saw a reel the other day that was talking about old Subway posters. Yeah, like the old like ingredient posters that you'd see at Subway. I used to go to Subway a lot as a kid, so obviously these things would be sick to have in my room. This kind of vibe doesn't really fit with my room necessarily, but that's the cool thing about doing it myself, is that guess what? I can make it look however I want. So I basically make the Evan Marchand bedroom equivalent version of these Subway posters. Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Hey, it's voiceover Evan. To start this off, I had to make room for these 3 big posters, of course, and this painting has low-key been begging to be taken down, so I'm gonna put them here on my closet doors. Next step was to make some measurements, pretty important if I want this to look good. These 2 doors are about 4 feet wide, which means that each poster was going to be about a foot long, which is fitting since Subway. It was time to draw them now. I decided to do the bread first because that's how it was in the picture. And after some measurements, I was ready to kick it off with a pencil layer, just to make sure that I do everything how I want it before going over it in pen. But it's kind of obvious, but whatever. I tried to give some variety to the breads, making some pretty flat and boring, while others had a bunch of seeds and stuff. For the color, as I'm hoping most of you know, I love neon and vibrant colors. So a while ago I had bought these big neon markers and I've only used them one time. So I decided to use them along with Posca markers for this project. Another thing I did to add to the vibe, I guess, was only use 1 or 2 colors for each poster. For the bread I only needed 1, which was yellow, but I used more in the others. I decided to put a black background just to make it pop more. Now onto the tomatoes. For this one, I really tried to focus on where I thought the light would be hitting the tomatoes, and kind of just use that to place the white parts of the tomato. And then the rest, of course, was going to be pink, because I wasn't going to use red just because obviously that's not overly neon. I don't think it would have worked as well in the set. And I also added some green to this one. Lastly, the cucumbers and lettuce. My paper wasn't as long as the one in the picture, so I struggled a bit with the spacing for this one. But other than that, I think it turned out fine. I was pretty happy with it. As for the lighting and what I left white, I kind of just improvised with this one, mostly using the white to kind of just separate what was what. And the OG picture was fully green in the background, but in order to make it match with the others, I decided to put the black background as well.
Oh yeah! Alright guys, they're done. I'm pretty content with how they turned out, to be honest. A couple things I wouldn't be the most proud of, I'd say, is how I kept forgetting that I was using Posca markers and like strong markers that you rubbed your hand against them, they would smudge. As you could see kind of like around here,
I kind of smudged it in some places. But that's alright. The biggest thing right now is figuring out where exactly we're going to put these. Because the order in the picture, the reference picture I was using would be the bread and then the tomatoes. And then we'd have the cucumbers and lettuce and all that here. But obviously whichever one gets put in the middle is going to have to get cut. Because I got to open the door. So the middle one is the tomatoes. But if I can be honest, these are kind of my favorites. So I don't really want to put the tomatoes in the middle if I know I'm going to have to cut them. What I might end up doing is putting the cucumbers in the middle just because I feel like it's kind of more of just like a whole lot of like going on with this one, you know. The bread's another option kind of, but I don't know. I think out of the three, this is kind of like the most different one. Yeah. I feel like it would just look the best in the middle anyway. We'll put this one first. Whoa, the duct tape is so strong though, holy. That's where I want it, so thank God, because it's not gonna move, so. Alright, so the question becomes now, how are we gonna cut it? You know, I feel like X-Acto knife, but like low-key, I got a scar from an X-Acto knife, and I kinda am like, about them. Could I scissors it? Huh? Chat, should I scissors it? I think we scissors it, yo. Yeah! Oh, I'm locked. I'm kind of dialed here. There we go, yo. There we go, yo. Kind of add some finishing touches. We can put some tape. Like that. Okay. Okay. Hey, hold on. Hey, okay. Alright, now for the last one, of course. I'm just trying to let you guys appreciate this one last time because I'm actually really proud of these. Boom! There they are, dude. My own custom nostalgic Subway posters. I love them. I think they look sick. And this actually worked better than I thought. I was worried about this. I was like, dude, I don't know if that's gonna look good, but I think that looks sick. Anyways, that's day 1 done. I'll see y'all tomorrow on day 2. Yeah.
Day 2.
Alright. For today's project, I'm still sick by the way, but for today's project, a lot of room decor things that I've been seeing have something to do with mirrors. You know, people turning their mirrors into like iPods or like the I'm Not a Robot test on like Google or whatever. And it's just super cool. Yeah. I just love that. I'm not gonna do that with my mirror. I'm not gonna go that crazy. Maybe at some point. For today, I do want to test out a different idea. Growing up, obviously, I was always a big video game guy. And so my idea today is to basically turn my mirror into what's gonna look like a character customization screen. So, you know, just basically making note on like the side with all like customized shirt, customized pants, you know. Yeah. I think that'd be cool, and I haven't really seen anyone do that, and I just think it would be unique and cool. Let's just do it, you know, let's just get into it.
Starting this one off, I of course had to cut even squares for each piece of the outfit. This was much more of a simple project, but I was still pretty passionate about it. Yeah! I grew up as one of those weird kids that move like a video game character. Not proud to say it, but there are probably videos out there of me running around like Mario at soccer games. It's downright embarrassing stuff, honestly, but it's whatever. Because of that though, I do think, despite its simplicity, this project matters just as much as the others to me. I tried to make each clothing icon look like ones you'd see in a game like Tomodachi Life or Miitopia or Minecraft or just honestly anything, like any kind of customization screen that you'd see. And under each, I added a customize button because I just imagined like someone clicking it in a game. I didn't think of it until now, but maybe I'll add a cutout cursor or something at some point. I think it would be cool. Yeah. Alright, they're done. We got the hat with the customize button, a neck accessory, you know, because I wear a lot of chains and stuff. I got a couple different options. I actually put one on. We got, of course, the jacket, hand accessory, bracelets, and rings and stuff, because I usually wear at least one ring every day. So, and then of course we got the shoes. So we're gonna put these on the right side of my door here and kind of just try to line it up as close as we can with where my actual face is, roughly where the thing is. I'm running low on sticky tack. Oh no! Alright, that's kind of fire. Yeah. You know, like a boop. You feel me? You know, I get the hat. So next, let's run the neck accessory. Boom. I think they're all gonna line up pretty well, guys. I picked a pretty good size. I tried to be strategic with my size. And I think I did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
This will be a little lower because obviously my hand is quite lower. Maybe I should move the jacket. I didn't put pants. I do wear pants, obviously. In terms of like what I do while I'm actually at my mirror here, I'm making sure that I have, you know, my hats, my jacket, any kind of jewelry type stuff, and my shoes. That's what I do here. By the time I come, my pants are already on.
Huh?
That's kind of why I didn't put the pants on there, just because I don't focus on my pants while I'm here. But obviously the last one we gotta do is shoes. And dude, we have the perfect amount of sticky tack. Alright, and there we are. That is the project for today, for Tuesday. The character customization mirror, we'll call it. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
So now my closet and stuff is kind of fully decked out with stuff, because obviously yesterday we did the Subway stuff. So closet doors are getting a lot of love here these past few days. So
Day 3.
It is. Obviously, as you could hear, I'm still sick. Back in 2016, big history for this one. Me and my friend Jack, believe you may know, we had these characters that were basically like Pokemon, Skylar type things. Called them Desk Warriors. And since it was 10 years ago, I brought them back this year as cards. And I have a bunch of them here. They're kind of just sitting on my nightstand right now because I don't really have anywhere to put them specifically. And I was thinking, yo, how cool would it be if I made a box for them that was based off of one of the characters? Because there's a lot of like cube type characters, so I could do like a box for all the cards. So I was like, you know what, maybe I'll do that today for this video. So we're gonna do that.
first step of the operation here was basically just make like a complete new box essentially. And to accomplish this, I had to sacrifice an old Eggos box. I tried to make it long enough to hold at least 50 cards, maybe more, hopefully more. After that was done, making the sides was easy because I made them just slightly longer than one of the cards themselves. That way I can kind of just line them up down the box.
Yeah.
My plan was to make this a case, so I needed to make a cover which was slightly bigger to go over the box. And to do that, I just measured the side of the card box and added about ½ an inch. Once all those were measured and cut, it was time to start gluing them together. This part was kind of scary because I really wanted to make sure the two pieces fit together. To ensure this, I waited to put the sides on each box and only put the front and back on to see just how well they slid together, and thankfully, it went quite well.
Yeah.
Naturally, the next step was to glue the sides onto each box. This made each box a little harder to fit together, which gave me a little scare. But I was hopeful that once I trimmed around the corners and added felt to the box, it would fix the issue, and thankfully, it did. It now required the perfect amount of force to put together. After putting the red felt on each box, I started to cut out the eyes using white felt. I usually struggle to make the felt eyes big enough for these type of character projects, we'll call them. But this one went great. After that, I added the pupils, mouth, and wheels. Test to see if they still fit together, and I was moving on to the pipe. This was kind of a pain to do only because I had to make like 3 different parts for it, but I figured it out and it went smoothly. I tried a new method for putting the felt on, which just had me taking the full sheet of felt and snipping off pieces as I realized I didn't need them, rather than just snipping off pieces first, which is what I did with the red. The most troubling part though was getting around the tip of the pipe and putting some felt on the inside of the pipe. Pause on that.
Well, guys, it's done. I've created something. I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. I think it definitely looks like the character. I wish this would have kind of been a bit taller. That's the only kind of like inaccuracy I would say. Another big thing to me is that it actually comes off, and I mean it's not like the smoothest thing, but then yeah, and then I can keep my cards and such in there.
Yeah.
They don't really fit how I was kind of hoping to get them to fit, which was kind of going all along like that. They do, but I think it's better that they fit kind of that way. But you know what? As long as it fits,
That's what she said.
it's fine, dude. It works great. It's all that matters is that it works, because the last time I tried to do a box like thing like this was for school and it didn't really work, so that was kind of disappointing. But sussing this out a little bit, it's kind of wiggly. I don't know how good it's on there, but it seems to be on. So yeah, I mean there's a couple parts too where you could see the cardboard, but you know, just don't look there. Don't look there at all. That's Wednesday's project. I'll see you guys tomorrow, which is day 4 of this experience.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
Day 4.
It is today. My sinus has decided to take away my voice. Probably because of the last 2 days, because I've been talking a lot. Yeah, check that out. Check that voice crack. For today's project, there's a corner in my room over there that I'll show, and it's kind of empty. And for the longest time, I've really been wanting to put a collage over it, kind of just like a whole wall collage. I think that would be really cool. Yeah. So I'm thinking that's what we do. Collage that really sums up everything I like. Let's do that. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So the first step for this day's project was to obviously find a bunch of stuff for the collage. See, we got collage, you know, which was an interesting experience. My goal for the collage was to try and find pictures that really sum up my interests. I wanted to blend my current interests and also some of my old interests as well. You know we gotta get this on here. Of course. Of course. I was mainly trying to focus on video games and shows and just like memes and stuff. Look for the Gummy Bear albums in stores on November 13th with lots of music, videos, and extras. Elite ball knowledge, if you will.
Yeah.
Now it's time to print this to my family computer.
A few moments later.
I had a few things to take down here. On the bed, I was making the collage by taping 2 black pages together and covering the tape with green construction paper. After that, it was all about choosing where to put each picture. In addition to all the stuff I had printed, I had also found a few drawings that I had made a few years ago that I wanted to put up as well. I also found some old comic magazines with some cool stuff that I thought would look good with the rest of the stuff. I tried to create some kind of scene with a few of these. I also tried to strategically place each picture to kind of have a theme. Thankfully, Grace was there to help because I started this later than I originally planned and we were low-key up hella late. When we were done and ready to put it on the wall, there were still a few things I hadn't put on. These are the Chaos Emeralds and FNAF plushies. I waited because I wanted to put them over the green and pink strips, but I was using them to connect both of the pages together, so I needed to wait. Yeah. Another one was the drawing that was put in between both pages, but obviously they needed to be connected before I could do that. There was very little room in that corner of my room because of my bed and my shelves, so we were low-key terrified we were gonna knock some Legos down. But we didn't. Yeah. The final touches were the comic book magazine pages that I found that I put on the top and bottom, and then I was done. I'm pretty proud of it. I think it has a little bit of everything in terms of my big interests, and especially a lot of nostalgic stuff for me, which is what I was going for. I also just wanted to add some random cool like aesthetic stuff like the cards and traffic light. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think it turned out better than I planned, if I can be completely honest with you guys. I feel like I'll probably add to the collage every now and then, and maybe at some point it will be completely filled with stuff, which I think will be cool.
The next day.
It's Ooh. I'm still sick. Ooh. That was corny. Last day of the DIY room decor video, we can call this. Also, I found a spot for this guy. So, we've done a lot here. And I think to wrap it up, the only logical thing that we could do is to kind of go full circle. Started the video, and I was standing right here on Monday. I mentioned something, and that was... like, dude, like, I just want a new Super Mario Bros. Wii carpet, bro. Like, Wii disc carpet. But obviously they're a scam, so I can't do that, and I'm not gonna make a rug. I can't, I don't know how to make a rug, and I don't have the facilities for it. But I did think, what's something else that's circular and flat that I could instead make that I would also have a use for that isn't a rug? And then I remembered, coasters exist, bro. So I was like, you know what I should do? I'm gonna make a set of Nintendo disc coasters, bro. Yeah. And I have a couple ideas floating around. I don't know if they're gonna look great, but you know what? I'm gonna do them anyway because I think it's gonna be cool. Yeah. Let's not waste any more time. Let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Similar to Thursday, this project started off with me browsing the internet for pictures of the Wii discs. I tried to choose the most nostalgic ones for me, or at least discs that I find special to me in some way. But once I was happy with the collection, it was time to print. Printing Tarantino. Once they were printed, I cut them out and got ready to make some coasters. To make these coasters, I took each disc and wrapped it in saran wrap. I tried my best to stretch it as far as I could, but unfortunately a few of them were a bit loose. Once they were wrapped, I took some hot glue, glued them to some thick cardboard, and cut them out. This got old super quick, and unfortunately I had to do it 4 more times. So not the most fun project by any means, but I do think they turned out quite well in the end. Every time I seem to try and do a craft with saran wrap, it always goes wrong. So I was just relieved that it actually turned out how I wanted.
Alright guys, they're done. There's the spread. I think that's a pretty sick collection, to be honest. Some of my favorite games are discs. You know, I've never actually played Twilight Princess. I have it, I've been meaning to, but I love the disc. This is probably like the most nostalgic Wii game for me. That and Skylanders, I just love it. We got Wii Sports, which I played more of Wii Sports Resort growing up, but Mario Kart Wii, you know, you gotta have Mario Kart Wii. And then of course, Sonic Unleashed was the first ever Sonic game I played, and if you know me, I'm a big Sonic guy, and I mean, you don't have to look too far or check my shirt out. I'm pretty happy with them, honestly. To be honest, guys, I'm pretty happy with everything I made this week. I think it really filled my room out, especially the collage. Every time I walk in now, it's like I notice feeling presence of something, and it's my collage, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really sick. This looks awesome. The subway stuff looks awesome. It really filled that out. That was super empty, but it filled it out and it looks great. I don't really look at my mirror too often, but when I do go in there, it's sick, and Grace uses my mirror and she thinks it's pretty awesome. So I'm really happy with how this video turned out, honestly. I'm really happy with how this week-long experiment of making these crafts every day turned out. I had a lot of fun doing it. I had a really good time doing it. I really think that it does kind of scratch that itch of like, oh, I want something that's really personal and really special to me that I normally could only get online. Like these are cool, you know, like I don't need a mat anymore. You know, I got these. I think this is pretty cool. And honestly, this was pretty easy to do. That will be my takeaway here. If any of you out there are watching this and you guys are wanting to get stuff like this online, but of course it is a scam, think about what you can do on your own. I know not everyone's super artsy and stuff, but for this, I just printed it and glued it and saran wrapped it. Like, it's not that hard. You don't really even need saran wrap. Express yourself, dude. Express yourself. It's the best way, you know?
What's up, guys?
That's gonna be it for the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know, because I really did, and I'd love to do it again. So if this is something that you guys would like to see, please put down in the comments below. I read them all. And if you did enjoy and you want to leave a like and subscribe, I would not be complaining if you did that. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, keep it breezy.